So a bit of history. Traff and I have been to 2 schools together. We hit it off at a very young age, and the foundations of our friendship were built on causing trouble. We went on a family holiday at the age of 14, both dyed our hair bright green, smoked cigars, drank a bottle of vodka, and then spent 2 days vomiting. We often skateboarded together. Occasionally, we set things on fire. One day, Trafford came round to my house, and with homemade BB guns, we accidentally smashed 3 of my parents' windows.
There's 5 songs
and
on it.
the French doors. And one of my neighbour's windows. Sorry, Mum. We shared multiple detentions at school together. At times, our teachers had little faith that either of us would ever amount to anything very much at all. But look at us now. All grown up, ladies and gentlemen, in committed relationships, almost completely pubic on my part at least, and both fulfilling our childhood dreams of selling software. For many years I would phone the blanking stops, and if Millicent or Peter answered, I would hear them shout, "Trafford, it's your boyfriend on the phone." It's fair to say Traff and I have always been pretty close, so obviously I attended his proposal to Becky, much to her surprise and delight, I assume. But I think that she accepted a long time ago that in committing to Trafford, I came as part of the deal. 2 for the price of 1. Lucky girl. So I'm going to explore some of the more amusing sides of Trafford's personality by means of a few stories. So to begin with, the first side, Fish Trap, the show-off. Trafford has always fancied himself as a bit of a boy racer. A bit of a Lewis Hamilton, if you will. Our friend Sly, who sat here with us tonight, reminded me the other day of Trafford getting his hands on his first car. He donned his racing gloves for the maiden voyage in his 1.4-litre beast. Oakley sunglasses wrapped around his adolescent face, and aggressive gangster rap blaring out the senses. He was closely followed by Sly, who had a car full of attractive girls looking on in awe. After an impressive 200 yards of what can only be described as driving perfection, a stray lamppost leapt out, threw itself in front of Trafford's car. It's fair to say the dent in Trafford's brand new motor was altogether less impressive than the dent in Trafford Schumacher Blenkinsop's ego. Still on the same topic of Fish Trap, the show-off. Whilst travelling around Southeast Asia with some friends, Trafford found himself at a Thai boxing event. Being the confident buffoon we all know and love, he jumped at the chance to get into the ring in front of loads of people and to challenge Paul Chohan, who is also here with us tonight, to a fight. Trafford did this without first stopping to consider 4 very important things. 1. Paul Chohan is unarguably bigger and stronger than Trafford. 2. Paul Chohan has quite a lot of kickboxing experience. 3. Trafford's entire fighting experience to this point consisted of being given a black eye by a 14-year-old outside Playgate Kebab Shop. And number 4, Trafford had just finished his 8th pint. The resulting fight was akin to watching Mike Tyson take on an overexcited Shetland pony. But what Trafford lacks in fighting skills, he makes up for in gritty determination and stupidity. It may have been a bloodbath, but I'm told it made for very entertaining viewing. So I'm going to move on to another side of Trafford's character, Traff, the businessman. Or sorry, Fish Trap, the businessman. I'm not going to stand in front of you all and say Trafford's a cheapskate. Certainly not against the backdrop of this wonderful ceremony today. But what I will say is that in general, as a general rule, he doesn't really like paying for stuff. Perhaps he's more a home economist than a businessman. When we were kids, not keen on the idea of paying £12 to get into Chessington World War Ventures, we saw it as our right to break in to avoid the cumbersome entry fee. Within minutes, we were ejected from the car park in a security van. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. When Trafford, Ben, Zach and I lived together, Ben and I were both infuriated by Trafford every evening piously taking 3 Doritos out of his family pack and then carefully rolling the bag back up and putting the peg back on it for the following evening. But for 2 individuals to whom self-control was a problem, this was enormously irritating. Becky tells me that Trafford can often be found rummaging through the rubbish, feverishly looking for shampoo bottles which apparently still have a wash in them. Not long ago, apparently, the very same bottle made its way in and out of the bin on 3 separate... Trafford, you're ridiculous. And finally, ladies and gentlemen,